Origin stories help us understand ourselves and our place in society. Think of your favorite superhero or supervillain. Their origin story is so important that it gets told time and time again. But what about our ultimate origin story? What about the origin of life? That story depends on who you ask. Some people think that we can know nothing about it. It was so long ago, we don't have any experiments that tell us anything about it. We can't really know anything. Some other people think that we were super lucky, that it was a really rare event that caused the origin of life, and that it may not have happened again if we ran the same thing over. I think differently. My research focuses on how the origin of life was not a lucky event. I don't think life was lucky. I think that evolution caused the origin of life. Evolution is biology's superpower. Evolution is how the very first steps of some complex process or complex function can gradually grow over time, step by step, into something as incredible as the eye or the brain. I think that evolution took Earth, the chemistry that was on the Earth before life started, and took it to those first cells, the very first things that we would call alive. For that to happen, evolution had to have an origin, and its origin had to be before life started. So what was that origin? That's my research. I did some math, and I got that. It was a baby and a slide. Okay, the baby stands for the amount of evolution that's going on. Over here, there's no evolution. It can't sustain itself. Over there is biological-like evolution. The molecules make the evolution move around like the baby. It moves totally randomly. Sometimes maybe it goes over here in the corner, takes a nap. It goes up a step, comes down, something like that. But eventually, the baby will reach the top of the slide. And once it reaches the top of the slide, it has to go down. And now we're over here. The molecules do the same thing. They randomly discover some evolution, maybe that it doesn't take off, but then it reaches a tipping point. Once it hits that tipping point, it must come down. And then you have evolution. That's the origin of evolution. Once you have evolution, life is much more probable. You have a force that can take you to living cells. So what was the origin of life? I think it was that. I think that evolution caused life. Evolution was inevitable because if you wait long enough, it will hit that tipping point and fall over. How are you supposed to feel about the origin of life? Well, that's for you to decide.